Well, happy 4th, and I hope that you find some inspiration today to reflect on freedom, freedom for yourself, freedom for those you love, freedom for this whole country. And the word inspire, of course, comes from a Latin word that means to breathe in, to take in. So, and inspire in the dictionary, I looked up the word in the dictionary, says to be filled with the urgency to do something. And I think that right now um, we're in this funny play of not being able to do some things that we'd like to do. Maybe we have some urgency around some things we'd like to do or want to do and aren't being able to do. And then we have this strong social movement about which we can't ignore, I hope. And what is the urgency around what we're going to do, how we're going to show up there. So we're going to talk about breath today, and we're going to work with some pranayama. And pranayama is a Sanskrit word. That prana is the word for life force, and ayama means to extend or stretch. So turns out yoga is about stretching the life force. So when we inhale, it's said that we bring the life force through our body, through all these channels in the body called the nadis. And we're going to start with a simple exercise, pranayama. So sometimes pranayama is also defined as breath control. So sitting or lying down, just find a comfortable way to be. And if you're sitting, feel for the evenness of your sit bones on the ground. And feel for lengthening through your spine. So the crown of your head is extending up towards the heaven. And you have this balance of both groundedness and extension. And then just begin by bringing your attention to your breath, just noticing your breath. What is the quality of your breath right now? Does it feel smooth or sticky? Does it feel that you can breathe freely in and out? So we'll begin with a breath called the Brahmari breath. And it's pretty simple. And we're going to make a buzzing sound on the exhale. So you'll inhale through your nostrils. And on your exhale, with your lips closed, you'll make a buzzing or humming sound. So we'll do 5 rounds of that. Inhale through your nostrils. And on your exhale, with your lips closed, make a buzzing or humming sound. It doesn't matter what the pitch is. Mm. And then you can let the intentional breathing go. Find your way to your back on your mat. Get comfortable on your mat. And I'm going to suggest the feet as wide as the edge of your mat or your mat space with your knees resting together. You can take your hands and lay your hands on your belly. And here again, just bring your attention to the breath moving in and out. So we know that the breath physiologically comes in through the nasal passages into the lungs, but there's a sense of the breath moving through the body. So as you continue to breathe, feel for this sense of the breath, not just coming into the lungs, but as you fill your lungs, the belly rising, and as you exhale, then the drawing in of your navel slightly. So as you inhale, see if you can fill from the bottom of the lungs all the way up to the top of the lungs, and maybe even feel the breath in your collarbones. Maybe even up into your neck. And then we'll start some really easy, slow movement. And the invitation is to lengthen the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. So one of the benefits of breathing, there's many, but every time we inhale, we stimulate the sympathetic nervous system. That's the fight or flight nervous system. And every time we exhale, we stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. And that is the rest or digest. So if we want to calm the nervous system, and right now, there's a bit of fight or flight sort of feeling going on. If we want to calm the nervous system, we have to extend the exhale. So separate your knees and just take your hands either alongside your body, or you could leave them resting on your belly. And we'll just do some pelvic tilts with the exhale extended. So on your inhale, draw your pubic bone away from your navel. You'll pull the low back away from the floor slightly. And on your exhale, draw your pubic bone back towards your navel, slightly tucking the navel up and in and extending the exhale. So we'll do about 10 rounds. On your inhale, just draw your pubic bone away from your navel, arch in the back, feel a little lifting through the belly. And on your exhale, draw the pubic bone back towards the navel, pressing your low back into the floor, and see if you can extend the exhale at least one breath, or one sort of count longer than the inhale. And breathing in and out through the nostrils. And then if you have your hands on your belly, you can take your hands palms up to the side of your body, knees bent, and take your feet now as wide as your hips, maybe a little bit wider. And take a big inhale. And on your exhale, drop your knees to the left. Inhale your knees back to center. Exhale, drop your knees to the right. Same practice. Inhale, maybe a count of 4, and exhale, count of 5 or 6. So the exhale is extended. On the inhale, see if you can draw the breath all the way up to the upper chest and even into the collarbones. And on the exhale, empty everything until you feel like you have no breath left. But without gasping, then come back to the inhale. So there's a smoothness in your breath as you move back and forth with the knees. Inhaling, the knees come back to center. Exhale, drop to the opposite side. Exhaling, letting all your breath out, until you really feel like you need to take a breath without grasping. Come back to the inhale. And exhale, opposite side. Inhale to sweep your knees up. And exhale, come to the other side. So this is a part of the one of the other benefits of pranayama, or breath work, breath control, is it allows us to keep from wandering in our thoughts and leave our bodies. It allows us to stay present. So using this real emphasis and attention on the breath to just stay in your body. And then once you've done an even number on both sides, come back up to the center, pull your knees into your chest. And that's going to be the exhale. Then inhale, you'll press your knees away, get a little arch in your back. And on your exhale, draw your knees slowly into your chest, exhaling all your air out. Drawing the navel up and in. And inhale, take the knees away. And exhale, draw the knees back into your chest. And just a few rounds like that. So you need to be your own judge today as we practice with the breath. If you have any lightheadedness or dizziness, you could just go back to regular breathing, meaning you're not extending maybe the breath, or you're not paying too much attention to it. So anybody in the audience who might have uncontrolled hypertension, if you've been experiencing any vertigo, this practice might bring up some of that. If you have diabetes, just any of those things could contribute to a little lightheadedness. So just pay attention to that. Good. And then we'll take the feet back to the floor and grab your strap. Okay, so extending the left leg up, you're going to take the strap on the ball of your foot and take the strap in your left hand. So as you inhale, press your foot into the strap, pull your toes back towards your shins, and then on the exhale, allow your leg to come out to the left. Now here you could rest on your left elbow, or if you had a block for your foot, or some of you might be able to have your leg come all the way down to the ground. We'll take 3 rounds of breath here. And I want you to think about perhaps externally rotating that leg. So you sort of wrap your hip away from your left side ribs. And then on your next inhale, you'll inhale the leg up. And then take the belt in the right hand and exhale, come across your body in a twist. And again, take 3 rounds of breath here. On your exhale, draw your belly or scoop your belly over to the left. On your next inhale, take your left leg back up to the ceiling and then release the belt. Take the belt onto the right foot. Holding the belt in your right hand, the left leg could be bent or long, it doesn't matter. Inhale to press your foot into the belt and pull back against your foot. And on the exhale, open your right leg out to the right. Resting on your right elbow or on a block. And take 3 rounds of breath there, wrapping your right hip away from your right ribs. And then on your next inhale, inhale the legs straight back up. Take the belt in your left hand. Exhale, come across into a twist. So right leg reaching across the midline. Each exhale now scoop your belly over to the right. So you're deepening the twist with the help of the exhale. Might not feel like a lot of movement. It's very subtle. And then on your next inhale, inhale the leg up. Take the belt away, set it over to the side. Take your feet back to the mat and then crossing at the ankles, extend your legs up towards your chest and take your hands to the back of your legs and rock the length of your mat from your collarbones to your sit bones. Your shoulder girdle to your sit bones. Collarbones are in the front of the body. Back and forth a few times until you can come up and come up to tabletop. Okay, same attention here to the breath. So place your hands underneath your shoulders or a little bit forward. And then let's put the weight in the outside of the hands. So the pinky edge, the fourth finger, the ring finger. So you might even lift up the other three fingers, the other two fingers and the thumb. And feel that weight on the outside. Feel the outside arm being fired up. And then put the other three fingers down. Good. And then knees are underneath the hips. And on your next inhale, draw your belly down towards the floor, arch your back, lift your gaze, and lift your tail up towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, press into your hands, round your back towards the ceiling, drop your chin towards your chest, and drop your tailbone towards your heels. So cat-cows, but really extending the breath, and lengthening the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. Do 3 more rounds. And then just release, come on to a seat for just a minute, and let's review the Ujjayi breath. So another breathing technique we use quite commonly in yoga. So Ujjayi means victorious breath. So if you're not familiar with this breath, it's the breath is, there's a slight constriction in the back of the throat. So on your inhale, just inhale through the nostrils. And on your exhale, slightly constrict the back of your throat as if you were going to whisper or you were going to fog up a mirror. You can begin practicing this breath with your mouth open on the exhale, and then eventually close your mouth for the exhale. So just a few rounds of Ujjayi breath. Again, on the exhale, there's a slight constriction at the back of the throat. And we use Ujjayi breath in yoga practice mostly when we're in the asana practice. So doing these repeated postures. So we'll come back to all fours. And we'll inhale, draw the belly down towards the floor, lift your gaze and spread your tail feathers. And then as you get ready to exhale, turn your toes under, press into your hands, bring your hips back and press up, downward facing dog. That's the exhale. Inhale, drop your knees to the floor, lift your gaze, drop your belly towards the floor. Exhale, put the tops of your feet down onto the floor, press into your hands around your back, come back to child's pose. Inhale, sweep up onto your knees, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, drop your hands back to the floor, child's pose. Inhale, come up, all fours, and drop the belly towards the floor, lift your gaze. You can turn your toes under here if you wanted to, that's the inhale. Exhale, round and push back and up, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your knees to the floor. Belly reaches to the floor, gaze forward. Exhale, press your hips back and round back, child's pose. Inhale, sweep your arms up, reaching for the sky with your fingertips. And then exhale, fold again, draw the navel up and in as you come down to child's pose again. Okay, so that's the vinyasa. That's the movement. We'll do it a few times. Inhale, all fours, cow. Exhale, turn your toes under, press up into the upside down V, the downward facing dog. Inhale, back to your knees, cow pose. Exhale, drop your hips, child's pose. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale, fold back down to child's pose. Now, we'll keep doing this vinyasa, but I want you to think about extending the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. Exhale into downward facing dog. And inhale back to the cow. Exhale, press your hips back, round back, child's pose. Inhale, come up to cow. Exhale, turn your toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop your knees, come to cow. Exhale, set your hips back on your heels, child's pose. Inhale, sweep up onto your knees, reaching up with the fingertips. Exhale, drop your hips back to your heels, child's pose. Now in your child's pose, take 3 rounds of breath, extending the exhale. So one of the other functions of breathing is, and one of the reasons we work on breath control is that we want to increase the blood oxygen exchange. So we know that we take oxygen in and then we release carbon dioxide, CO2 out. And for efficiency, we need a balance between the amount of blood that's ready to absorb oxygen and the oxygen supplied by breathing. But blood is gravity dependent. So there's more blood in the bottom half of the lungs. The top half of the lungs has more gases. So the bottom of the lungs is more blood heavy, right? So if we're to change this, increase this efficiency, you can come up now to all fours. We could do a couple of things. We could breathe deeper. Which we practice in yoga, or we can change the orientation of the body to gravity. So one of the benefits of yoga, I'm a big exerciser and I breathe really hard when I ride and hike and things like that. But yoga has this other element that we change the body position relative to gravity. So turn your toes under, press into your hands, take your hips back and set your hips up in downward facing dog, this upside down V. So now my body position is changed and I'm inverted. We'll take 5 rounds of breath here, again, extending the exhale. So this is one of the reasons why yoga is a different kind of, we work differently with the breath, and this idea of exchanging O2 and CO2 is I've changed the orientation of my body. 5 rounds of breath. On your next inhale, you bring your knees back to the floor and come into the cow shape with the belly reaching towards the floor. And then we'll sit back onto our heels, bring the arms overhead. And then reaching out, we'll take a twist in one direction. So one hand behind you like a kickstand, the other to the outside of your outer leg. And then inhale the arms up, and you can twist in the opposite direction. And then coming back to center, come up onto your knees, bring your left leg forward, your left foot forward. You might want to block here, 2 blocks. So I'll show with both. So with my left leg forward, hands on the blocks. The inhale is always going to bring me up to this upright position. Then I'm going to exhale and fold into the front knee. Fold, coming down and stretching the back leg, the front of the back leg, the hip flexor there. And then I'll inhale back to center and exhale, take my hips back, stretching the hamstring of the front leg. So it'll work without a block. If you have a blocks to come into that forward position, might be a little easier. You could also tense your fingers. So inhale to come up and exhale long to come down. And then once you're holding the position, you can take a few rounds of breath, practicing with the Ujjayi breath, the slight constriction in the back of the throat, then inhale back up and exhale, bring yourself back towards your heels, or the back heel rather, stretching the hamstring of the left leg. Inhale back to center and exhale, come down. So even if you want to move a bit faster in this, you can, but just extend the exhale. And then the next time you come up, you're going to stay there and you're going to turn your right foot, your right leg. So you make a 90-degree angle, and then extend your left leg out. You want the block to be on the outside of your right leg. So right leg bent, block here. Take your right hand to the block. Inhale to sweep your arm up and over. Stretching through the left side body. And then inhale, bring your left arm up, and exhale, reach out to your left shin or your left foot, whatever works for you. And then inhale, sweep the left arm up and over. Exhale. And inhale, sweep left arm up and come down and reach out for the left shin or the left foot, side bending or opening the right side. And we'll go back and forth a few times with that inhale up and over. And inhale up and fold. So there's a little variation of gate pose. Opening side waist, both right and left. And then the next time you come up to center, take your knees back underneath your hips, hands back underneath shoulders. We'll take 2 rounds of cat-cow. And then reach the right foot forward. Again, you could have your block or blocks to the front foot, fingers, make a little tent with your fingers. Inhale, bring you back up to center each time, and exhale, bring the hips back. Inhale back up to center, and then exhale, bring yourself forward. Really stretching the front hip flexor of the left leg now. So going back and forth. So this is a great little vinyasa to really have the exhale be extended, because the inhale just really brings us back up to center, and then the exhale takes us back. So you might add on the exhale now, really paying attention to the work in the abdomen. So on the exhale, draw the navel up and in. So the core is involved in the exhale each time. Inhale to come back up and exhale. Last time forward in this really low lunge. Good. And then we'll come back to center on the inhale, and now turn your left leg so that it's at 90 degrees and reach your right leg long. If you have just one block, it'll be best on the left side. Okay, so here we go. We'll just bring the left hand to the block and inhale the right arm up and over. So on this long exhale hold, draw the navel up and in. Inhale to sweep the right arm up, and exhale, reach out for the right leg. Inhale, sweep the right arm up, left hand to the block, and exhale, side bend. Inhale brings you up, exhale takes you down. Inhale, sweeping up, and exhale, come over. Draw the navel up and in, get the core to be involved. Long leg, your right leg is engaged. Inhale, sweep up, exhale, fold. So you're squeezing muscle on the bone. So it's not a passive Stretch, the abdomen's working, the legs are working. One more time, we'll inhale up, come over to the left. And then inhale, reach up, and exhale. Reach to the right leg. Long exhale. Inhale, come on up, and come back to all fours. Take the weight to the outside of your hands. Press the shoulder blades, pack the shoulder blades down and in. Now put the weight in the inside of your hands. Turn your toes under. Lift your knees off the floor. Press your hips back, 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 and up. Take 3 breath cycles here. And on your next inhale, rock yourself forward till the shoulders are stacked over the hands, chest right between the hands. Fire up your legs, so pull the muscle to the bone. And then keep your elbows moving in towards one another, your hands isometrically moving away from one another. And pull the heels of your hands back. Feel how that engages your abdomen, and either come to your knees or come all the way down to the floor. Now we're on the belly. You can make a little pillow with your hands, resting your forehead on your hands, or you could take your hands to the sides of your body and take your head to one direction or the other. But here, just feel the breath. It's a bit easier, especially when you really extend both inhale and exhale, to feel your belly against the floor. So on your inhale, as you take a big, deep inhale, feel your belly pressing against the floor. And on the exhale, we're releasing all of that. And then bring your hands alongside your body, rest your forehead on the floor. Now pull the head of your arm bones back or up towards your back and draw your shoulder blades into your back, in towards midline and down. With the shoulders lifted, press into your pubic bone. Inhale, lift your head and lift your legs. What does it feel like here to take a few rounds of breath? If you extend the exhale, you can stay calm in a relatively challenging position. And on your exhale, release your head and arms and legs back down to the floor. Turn one cheek or temple to the mat and softly move your hips back and forth. And then coming back to center, place your forehead on the floor. Now take your arms out to a T position. Lift your arms off the floor Squeeze or pack the shoulder blades down and in. Press into your pubic bone and engage the navel. Lift the legs, lift the head. Take 3 rounds of breath. See if you can extend the exhale. To help calm the body, even though we're doing some hard work. And on your next exhale, slowly drop everything down to the floor. Take your arms alongside. Let yourself take a few rounds of breath, changing the position of your head to stretch through the neck. And then come back to center. Take your forehead to the floor. Bring your arms out at about a 45-degree angle. If this is too much, you just go back to the T or the arms alongside your body. Lift the arms, draw the shoulder blades down and in. Press into your pubic bone and engage your navel and lift your head and lift your legs. Keep drawing navel up and in. Pressing your pubic bone into the floor. And extending the exhale if you possibly can. And release. Take one cheek or temple to the mat and rock your hips back and forth. Just gently releasing the area around the sacrum. Other direction. And then you can come back to center and choose either arms alongside your body in a T out in 45 degrees. Pack the shoulder blades onto the back, so in and down. Lift your head, lift your legs, and then side bend to the right. So taking your right hand down towards your right knee. Inhaling to come back to center and exhaling side bend towards the left. And we'll do that a couple of times. So you'll inhale back to center and then slide your hand down towards your right knee. So you're side bending to the right. Inhaling back to center and sliding your left hand down towards your left knee. Side bending to the left. Coming back to center and lowering with a nice long exhale. Take a couple of rounds of breath to settle. Use the exhale to help you settle. And then slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Draw your elbows in and pull them back. Press into your hands, come up onto your knees. Stay right in table for one breath. And then slowly engaging the exhale, come back to your heels with your hips. On your next inhale, you'll come up onto your knees, sweep your arms up. And exhale, let your hands come to heart center and then release to the side of your body. Great. Now from here, just put your weight into one knee. Let's go weight into the right knee and lift your left foot up and place your left foot forward. So you're in proposal pose. And then put your weight back into your right knee and place your left knee back down. Put your weight into your left knee, lift your right foot up and set it forward in proposal pose. Put your weight into your left knee and set your right knee back down. Curl your toes under here and drop your hips back to your heels. Take your hands to the floor and press your hips back so you're resting on your feet. And then bring your hands as close to your body as per your capacity. And then see if you can balance just there on your feet. Inhale and exhale. So hips are on the heels, you're up on the toes, the heels are lifted. And then bring your hands back down to the floor and drop your heels as you lift your hips. So as you slowly lifting your hips, lifting your hips, lifting your hips. And then you found yourself in Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway, bring your hands to the shins and reach through your crown. And again, exhale, scoop the belly button comes up and in as you long exhale to the floor in a forward fold. Inhale as you press into your feet, sweep your arms up. Ooh, you might get a little dizzy there, so take your time. And exhale, allow your hands to come to heart center. Good, release your hands to your sides and take the left foot forward, the right foot back. So a little wider than a train track, say. So the back foot, the right foot, is at about 35 degrees, and the front foot is facing straight forward. Good. And then bending your front leg with your hands on your hips, bring your legs into and your body into this warrior one position. Take your arms out to the side, pack the shoulder blades down and in, and reach the thumbs back as if you were hitchhiking. Now here, take a couple of breaths, and with each exhale, concentrate on drawing the navel up and in and sucking the lower ribs in. So it's not too much of a back bend here. And then on your next inhale, draw your hands up over your head, palms facing one another. And then on your next exhale, rock forward, bring your arms back, putting your weight forward over your front foot. And then press into the front leg, straightening the front leg and lifting the back leg. Arms reaching back behind you, shoulder blades down and in. On your next inhale, sweep the arms back up, step back, try to land it. And then release your hands to your hips. Shift your weight forward, step forward, feet meeting one another into Tadasana. Inhale the arms up and exhale, slow exhale through center, come into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, come up halfway, hands on hips. Bend the knees. Put your weight into your left foot and step your right foot back. Same little sequence. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, sweep forward with the hands. Put your weight into your front foot. Straighten the front leg as you lift the back leg. We're on the same side, in case that got confusing. We're on the same side. And then inhale to lift the right leg. Exhale to twist. And then release both feet together. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sit into a chair fierce pose. Put your weight into your right leg, step your left leg back. Reach your arms out to a T. Pack the shoulder blades down and in. Take the thumbs out like hitchhiker position. Front leg is bent. And then inhale to reach the arms up, facing one another, palms facing one another. Exhale, sweep your arms back, bring your weight into your front foot. And then as you continue to reach forward, lean forward, straighten the front leg and lift the back leg. And then as you inhale, step the left leg back, come back into the warrior one position. Sweep the arms back again, lean forward and step the back foot to meet the front foot. Sit yourself down, fierce pose. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Inhale. Exhale, see if you can sit the hips back a little bit further. Wrap the outer hips down and in towards your sit bones. On your next inhale, you'll straighten your front legs, or straighten your legs. Both of them are front. Exhale, release your hands to heart center. Woo. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, begin to sit down towards fierce pose. Put your weight into your right leg, step your left foot back. Back to the warrior one, same side. And then sweep the arms back as you lean forward. And you might take one little step just to get a little closer, but it's as if you're peering over a cliff edge. And then as you straighten the front leg, the back leg lifts up. It might only lift a little bit. Variation of warrior 3. Now inhale to reach the left leg up. So it's at a 90-degree angle in front of your body. And then exhale, twist. Right hand comes to the outside of the left leg and left arm back. And then release. Separate your feet. Take a few rotations through the hips. And then come down into Utkatasana one more time, fierce pose. Set the hips back, bending through the knees, and then release into a forward fold. Long exhale. Now heel toe your feet apart. Come down into a squat. And then set your hips right down on the floor. Let's do one hip balance here so legs can be bent with the hands behind your hamstrings holding, or your arms might be out in, like you're offering something to someone. Legs could be bent or legs could be straight. Draw the navel in. And from this position, we'll come right down to the back. With a nice exhale, release everything. Take one ankle on top of the other knee into a figure four and bring your knees into your chest, reaching through the space if that works for you, and stretching the outer hip. So now, last breathing technique, alternate nostril breathing, but we're not going to use our hands, and we're only going to go, actually, we're not going to do alternate nostril breathing. We're going to do one nostril breathing, but we're not going to use our hands to close off the other nostrils. So those of you that are familiar with alternate nostril breathing know that we breathe in through one nostril and out the other side. And then we breathe in through the other side and out the original side. Okay? Today, we're just going to breathe in through the left nostril. You don't have to close your right nostril off. Just really bring your attention to the left nostril. So as we finish our practice, it'll be in and out through the left nostril. Now, switch the cross of your legs, so you're stretching the other outer hip. If you really want to close off the right nostril, you can, but it's not necessary. So letting everything go now as we come down towards Shavasana. You can stay in this figure four as long as you need to. And concentrating or bringing your attention to your left nostril. And once again, extending the exhale. If there's anything else you need posture-wise, do that before you settle down. Again, we're thinking left nostril only. And extending the exhale. And then place your hands somewhere on the heart center. Identifying a place or an area in your life or something that you can feel, something that you would like to be inspired around. Inspired, filled with the urgency to do something. Creative change. What is possible for you? As you are ready, come back to your seat. And we'll bring our hands together in front of the heart center. Deep gratitude today for having you. And always when I do something a little different, I'm appreciative that you are accepting to receive. So namaste and have a wonderful day and celebrate in a powerful way today for the freedom of everyone.